This video is sponsored by SetApp. Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and some of you requested that I make a video going over some tips and tricks for new users. Now I have used some of these tips and tricks in past videos, but it's been a while since I've actually released one, so I thought it'd be okay to recycle some of them and give everyone a quick refresher on some tips and tricks that I recommend for new users to macOS. And there's some pretty easy ones in here, but also some very helpful ones as well. All right, one of the first tips I actually want to give has nothing to do with how to work the macOS operating system, but it's just a reminder that, a lot of you are on budgets, a lot of you are getting systems that actually don't have too much storage. This is an entry-level MacBook Air, and as you can see, we get an entry-level storage option too. Only 256 gigabytes of storage, and on this drive, 245 gigabytes of storage. So even then, we're not getting the full use of that SSD. So you can fill these up pretty fast, even if you're not trying. So my first tip for new Mac owners is really to go in and assess what default system apps you don't need anymore. The easiest way to do this is to just go into Launchpad over here. It's actually pre-installed on the dock, and you can get an iOS style view of all of the applications that are currently installed on your Mac. I feel like for new users, this is probably super simple because it works the same way that you would delete iOS apps. So let's say you have no interest in music at all, and you want to delete GarageBand. This is a music application, so let's go ahead and delete that. It's a system default app. And you can see over here, I also have Final Cut Pro as my video editor, so I really don't need iMovie. So we're going to delete those two apps. You can see an app like GarageBand will actually take up about 800 megabytes. And an application like iMovie can take up 2.4 gigabytes. So it's always just a good reminder to tell people to delete default apps if you don't need them anymore, because that can actually free up a lot of system resources, especially on those entry-level MacBooks that don't have too much storage. Now, another great tip for new Mac users is to actually go in and change the default system resolution to get more desktop space. So let's go into System Preferences, let's go into Displays, and let's go into Scaled. So you can see the resolution is default for the display, but if you go into Scaled, you can actually get more space. So if you click on this option over here, it's actually going to shrink all these icons, shrink all the windows, and that's actually going to give you more window space to work with. And you can see when we go back into default, just how much less space we get for adjusting the desktop. Now, you could also go the other way, right? Let's say you have like bad eyesight and you want everything to be bigger. You can also make everything bigger. I don't prefer this. My eyesight's pretty good and I like having as much space as possible. But if you want, the largest text possible or something like this, really bad eyesight, again, this is also another great tip. You can make the default windows larger. You can have larger text, so it's a little bit easier to read. So while we're talking about these space-saving tips, another thing you might want to do is hide the dock or auto-hide the dock. Now on macOS, defaultly, the dock ships with it set in the bottom position. Of course, you can go over here and change the size of the dock so you can make it really small or blow it up really big like that. But even if you make it small like this, it's still taking up some of your desktop space. Now, if you want it to automatically hide this dock and then every time you put your mouse down here, it appears, well, to do that, you have to go into System Preferences. You have to click on Dock and Menu Bar. And here you can see there is an option to automatically hide and show the dock. So when you click on this, you'll see that the dock just disappears, makes a much cleaner desktop setup. And then when you need the dock, you can go down here and voila, all the dock items are still available. When you go off of it, it hides. Now, another thing you might want to do, and I don't do this, I like the dock in the bottom position, but there are a lot of people who like to change the position of it, and you can actually have it appear over here on the side or the right-hand side if you're crazy. So what you want to do is go into System Preferences. You want to do the same thing, Dock and Menu Bar, and then you actually want to go over here to the position of the dock. And like I said, you could put it on the left. Let me turn off the auto hide. So you can turn it on the left. You can put it on the bottom where I keep it default. And if you're a crazy mad person, if you're insane, you can choose to put it on the right. And of course, the same thing we just did for the dock to auto hide it, you can actually also do that to the menu bar up here. So you'll see we're in the same area for the dock and menu bar. Just go all the way down to the bottom over here, click that. And again, this is gonna be a very clean desktop experience where you have the dock and the menu bar hidden, and kind of very minimalist, but you go over here, there's your menu bar. Go over here, there's your dock. So if you want to get rid of all that, just have a focus on the desktop, have as much desktop space available, well, that's the way to do it on macOS. If you keep a messy desktop like me and you don't like organizing things, there's actually a built-in system to do that. You're gonna wanna go to View, and you're going to want to use this feature called Stacks. So you're gonna wanna hit Use Stacks. And what this is going to do is it's going to organize everything automatically for you. So you can see over here, I had a couple screenshots, and that all condenses into a screenshot section. And if I click on that, it's gonna expand and show a bunch of screenshots. Now, you can also change these stacks as well. So you can go to Group Stacks By, and you can change it for kind, the date last open, the date added, date modified, date created, or even if you want to create your own custom tags, do a little bit of the organization yourself. For me, I usually like to keep it on the date added. So if I go over here, you can go over to date added, and it will automatically organize things from when I added them to the desktop. So the most recents are gonna appear on the top, where the older items are gonna appear over here. All right, we still got a couple more tips and tricks to go over, but before we do that, what's the point of all these tips and tricks unless you got a lot of great apps to use? And there are a lot of great apps on Mac, and if you're a new user, well, you definitely have to check out Setapp. Because just like you're learning macOS to bring in its full potential, Setapp is also the key to using the full potential of your Mac. Setapp allows you to unlock even more features on your Mac, like using paste to simultaneously copy and paste multiple items and get back previous copied items, or using Tooth Fairy to make sure your AirPods or Bluetooth headphones are always available to connect to with just one click. Not only does Setapp expose even more apps for magical features like this, but Setapp also offers a paramount collection of different paid productivity Mac apps under one roof. Full-featured apps like Luminar offer an advanced photo editing app that not only offers advanced photo editing features, but also provides a simple and easy-to-use interface for new users with advanced AI filters to make your photos look professionally graded with just a single click. And this is just scratching the surface, because every app available on Setapp reveals something non-trivial that might have been hard to imagine doing on your Mac before, but easily becomes a reality and gives you a huge immediate boost to your Mac's productivity. And the best part is you can start trying all of these apps today with a full week-long free Setapp trial by using the link in the description below. And thank you so much to Setapp for sponsoring this video. Another thing you're probably gonna wanna set up is hot corners. So this is a cool little feature, but it's kind of hidden. So you're gonna go into System Preferences, and then you're going to go into Desktop and Screensaver, and then you're gonna go click into Screensaver, and you're gonna see that there is this option for hot corners right down here. So you're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna see you get 4 different options. So what this does is basically every time I drag my mouse over into one of these corners, it's gonna enable a quick action. So for the top left, we can set a Launchpad launch. For the bottom left, maybe we wanna go into the lock screen to quickly lock down the Mac. And then for the top right, we can enable Notification Center. That's usually where you go to get your notifications, so that's a good place to put it. And then for the bottom right, I don't know, we can put Mission Control so we can see all of our apps at once. So now if I go over to the top left, that's gonna launch into Launchpad. Say someone's coming over, I'm working on something secret, you can go into the bottom left, and that's automatically gonna lock the screen. And if we go to the bottom right, we can get that Mission Control window, see all of the applications we had open. So let's say we have all this open, we go into Mission Control, we can quickly manage our windows from there. And then if you go into the top right, then you can quickly access all of your notifications, which is actually nice because then you don't have to go over and click here. You can just slide it up and it's instantly there. So I like using hot corners, and it's a quick way to just assign certain macOS features. Now, one of the things that changed recently on macOS Big Sur was this revamp into Control Center. So you can see that now we actually have a condensed version of all of our controls over here. It's really nicely designed, but some of the things that Apple, changed here is that they kind of put less emphasis on this menu bar up here. Now, one of the things I like to tell people is that if you access something like Do Not Disturb, or now there are going to be separate focuses actually in the future macOS Monterey that you can access, you can actually drag and drop these out from this control center into the menu bar for quicker access. So one thing I access frequently is to, use my AirPods or AirPods Max, and that requires a Bluetooth connection. So I like to take the Bluetooth, drag it up here into the menu bar, and now I have quick access to all my Bluetooth peripherals that I use on my Mac, and I can just quickly connect to them. Another thing I like to do is take the Do Not Disturb. So I take the Do Not Disturb, which is going to be focuses in the new operating system, and then you can drag that, and then I can quickly toggle Do Not Disturb. I don't have to go into Control Center and then click Do Not Disturb. So you can just do that independently with all the Control Center items in here, and you can just drag them into your menu bar for quicker access. Another great feature for macOS is if you also own an Apple Watch. So what you can do with this is actually use your Apple Watch to unlock your Mac. This is great for Macs that don't have, built-in security methods like Touch ID, which this Mac does have, but the Apple Watch authentication works really great. So you're gonna wanna go into System Preferences. You're going to want to head over to Security and Privacy. And right here in General, you will see right down here, you can use your Apple Watch to unlock your Mac. So you're gonna wanna click on that. You're gonna need to enter your password. Once you do that, it's all enabled. So let's try getting past something with our Apple Watch. So we'll click on here to make a change. And you're gonna see that right on my watch, a little notification pops up that I can unlock my MacBook Air. All I have to do is double click the side button. And look at that, it's like I use Touch ID on my Mac, but really I just use my Apple Watch to authenticate. Another helpful tip is how to get emojis. So on a Mac keyboard, it might not be that straightforward, especially if you don't have the touch bar with all the emojis that you can access on there. But thankfully there is a quick way to do this, and that is to press the bottom left FN key, which now has this globe icon on it on newer Macs. And if you press that, you will see that all of the available emoji pop up right here, and it gives you the full entire scrollable list, and then you can just pick and choose whichever emoji you want to use. Another super helpful tip for new Mac owners is how to use your iPhone or your iPad as a scanner. So say you're home, you don't have a traditional scanner, you want to scan something quickly with your iPhone, you can do that. So all you have to do is right click, and then you will see an option to import from your iPhone. So you can either add a photo quickly to your desktop, scan a document like we're about to do, or you can add a sketch. So if you click Scan Document, you're gonna see that it automatically starts to connect with my iPhone, and it just automatically opens up the camera app. So now if let's just open this piece of paper over here. This is so crudely done, but we're just gonna snap a picture of that, and you can see, so I can automatically adjust this, or I can do it manually, and we're going to hit Keep Scan, and once I hit Save, that's gonna send it instantly right over to the Mac. And look at this, so you just click on that, and the document we just scanned is available as a PDF file directly on the Mac, no scanner needed. Of course, you can also do this with photos as well. So we're gonna import into the iPhone. We're just gonna take a simple photo. Obviously, it's gonna open up the camera app again. We'll just take a picture of the keyboard, and we're gonna hit Use Photo, and you can see the image appears right on my desktop. You can also do this in apps as well. So let's go back to the Notes window over here, and we can hit right click, and we can go into Scan Documents, take photos, or add a sketch. You know what? We showed off take a photo and scan document. Again, it would add it right to the notes, but let's try sketch. So we're gonna add a sketch over here. It's gonna connect to my iPhone, and then we could do a little bit of drawing. Actually, this would probably be a little bit better on an iPad with an Apple Pencil, and you can make a nice little sketch. I don't even know what we're drawing here with Mr. Stick Figure Man. He's got like a little hat. He's very happy. Yeah, I don't know. We gave him a goatee. So this is a happy stick figure fan at the baseball game. I can't draw, as you can see. So there you go. The sketch is imported into the Notes app over here. So if you're an artist and stuff like that, Obviously the Mac doesn't have a touchscreen, but you can use the power of Apple's ecosystem to let you draw and sketch in the Notes app or really anywhere else, I guess. Another great tip for beginners, it's probably a little bit more advanced, but I like to show it off because it is a great time-saving feature, and that is to rename a bunch of files at once, or batch files, I guess you could say. Usually I do this with pictures. If I'm importing pictures from a camera, I can, replace the default JPEG name and replace it with something else. For here, we're gonna use screenshots, but it works exactly the same. So you're going to get your folder over here, or just any group of files you want. You can either go, into select all in the edit if you have a ton of them, like this, and it's gonna select them all. Or if you just have a few, you can obviously just drag like this, select them all. So from here, once you have that all selected, you're just gonna wanna right-click on one of these things, and then you're actually going to want to go to rename. So what we can do here is we can find a common thing. So we can see that we have screenshot. These are all screenshots, right? But I wanna replace them with maybe like MacBook research. So we're gonna find screenshot. We're gonna take that out, and now we're going to replace all these screenshot names with MacBook video, research. And now when I click rename, it's going to take all the files that say screenshot, and watch this. So now all these screenshots, which are just generic screenshot names, actually have a full name. So if I was actually doing a video on MacBooks and I had a bunch of screenshots for it and I wanted to find them quickly, well, now every screenshot here is renamed with that new phrase. So you can, again, do this for a bunch of different files. I find it the most useful for when I'm trying to rename a large number of photos. Another thing as a new macOS user you're gonna wanna master is mastering screenshots. Now, macOS has a super robust screenshot and screen recording tool, and the best way to access all of this is to hit Command, Shift, and then 5. From here, you're going to see that this little window pops up, or these icons pop up, and you have a couple different options here. So you can capture the entire screen. That's just gonna take a blank screenshot. You can capture a selected window. So I have a window open here, and I could just take a screenshot of that, and it's gonna just, give us the full window that we had open there as a screenshot. You can also capture a selected portion. That's gonna give you this over here. So anything that you have in this view is going to be added to the screenshot. And then of course you can record the entire screen if you want to take a full screen recording. That's going to record literally everything on your Mac. You do have to hit record over here as well. So now we're getting a full screen recording of the Mac, and no matter what I do, it's just gonna, keep recording any interaction I have on this Mac. When you're ready to stop that recording, again, Command Shift 5 to get back into that window. You can hit stop screen recording. Every time you take a screenshot or a screen recording too, it's gonna pop up this little window over here. You can actually click on that, and you can also access quick edits as well. So if I wanted to trim this video out, you hit that, it gives you a little tool to trim the video, and you can trim out maybe some of the parts that you didn't want in that screen recording. Every time you wanna, finish that, you can hit done, or let's say you needed to send this to someone, maybe you're trying to explain something, there's quick actions to send it through mail, messages, AirDrop, notes, or just add it directly to your photo library. And of course, the last one is record a selected portion of the screen. So you can click on that, and just like we did with our other screenshot where we kind of captured this area, this will just record video of this portion of the screen. So let's say you just want it to capture something very, very specific on screen. You can minimize it to whatever level you need to, hit record, and it's just capturing whatever's in this window. Everything else is not being captured. And then if you go and hit that, you can see in our little screen recording, it was just capturing that small little segment over here. All right, everyone, and that's gonna do it for this macOS tips and tricks video. Please let me know what you thought of, these tips and tricks in the comments below. Did you know all of them? Are there some of them that surprised you? Was the video helpful? I really hope it was helpful. That's why I tried to make it. Again, some of you did request this video, so ultimately, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please give me a like. If you want to see more from the channel, obviously make sure you're subscribed. If you want to help the channel out in any way, make sure you check out some of the links in the description. Make sure you check out our sponsor for this video, Setapp. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.